Message. We're going to talk about hitting the record button, okay? Now, I do more photography than videography, although they go hand in hand nowadays when you got to make continuous content on social media. At one point when doing photography, making video or content, reels and stuff like that wasn't as important, right? But now I'm gonna tell you to make sure you hit the record button, okay? Because the other day we was recording something and I happened to not hit the record button twice, right? And separately on separate different occasions. So for the audio player that I was using to record the audio, I forgot to hit the record button for the first 20 minutes, right? It pretty much dawned on me later that, oh yeah, you gotta hit the record button, right? Now, it gets very annoying when you forget to hit the record button, but you gotta remind yourself to always hit the record button, okay? And then on the second occasion, I was recording on the camera, and at the time I was using a dummy battery, right? If you haven't seen a video about dummy batteries, it is on my TikTok and also on my YouTube, okay? So what I did was, when I was recording, after the video was finished recording, I unplugged the dummy battery from the wall, which then turns off the camera. Now, the problem with that is I didn't hit the record button, right? To stop the recording. And, you know, I instantly decided to plug the dummy battery right back in and see if I can actually recover the footage onto the SD card, because in some cases, when your camera turns off, even when you have a battery and not a dummy battery, and you turn it right back on, it says something like, if you're using Sony, it says something like, do you want to recover the last footage, last data, or something like that, right? And I click enter, and I was pretty much saying, okay, that, hey, I want to recover this footage. And believe it or not, it didn't recover the footage, right? And I think it was my fault because I didn't allow it to give enough time to try to recover that footage. I instantly try to so basically what I did was, after I hit the enter button and then, you know, it went back to the main screen, I took the SD card out and I plugged it into my computer to see if the footage is on the SD card. And it was a non-readable file that was there, about 59 gigabytes, because I shot in 4K. So I was like, it must be still there. So I decided to put it back into the camera and to see if it was more footage, if the footage was recovered, and it wasn't, right? So I started to record again, a little small clip or something, and that pretty much you know, started a whole nother video and pretty much got rid of the previous video, which was like an hour and 30 minutes. So I'm telling you guys to make sure you hit the record button. Don't unplug the computer. Don't unplug if you're using a dummy battery, don't unplug the plug before you hit the record button. If you're using a separate audio recorder, make sure you, make sure you hit the record button as well. Now we gotta pretty much do that video all over again. That's the downside, right? I'm pretty sure all the photographers and videographers know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm still thinking about it because it's like you made all that footage just to not